Hi there and welcome once again to Get Indie Gaming. We're back after quite literally being away for a month hunkered down in a cabin out in the woods, and today we're cracking on with our top 10 selection of indie games coming out this August 2020. Don't forget to subscribe with those notifications turned on, and while you're here, be sure to check out our brand new Patreon where you can further support our work creating what we know could be one of the best indie game video channels out there. You can find a link on screen now, or you can wait to the end of the video and follow it from within the description. First up at this month's number 10, Willy Morgan and the Curse of Bone Town comes out on August 11th for PCs. As this video goes up, there's a demo for you to download on the game's Steam homepage, and so far during the prologue, we've had a great time playing it. There's no denying this one looks back and takes inspiration from the classics of point-and-click adventures. It seems every bit like a follow-up to, let's say, Monkey Island, and that's fine by us. To be honest, with the time we've spent on the game so far, it's the graphics that are a real winner here. Their intricate designs and things looking just a little bit normal enough while having an edge of the quirky and bizarre. As for the story, it's all set within a fantasy pirate-themed world that features non-linear gameplay. There are around 50 or so locations to discover and 15 or so NPCs to meet, who so far are an excellent mix of the odd and pleasantly daft. Alongside the gorgeous graphics comes an original soundtrack with more than 2 hours of music that sets everything off rather nicely. Given the demo finishes on quite a delicate nudge into pushing players to wanting to know more, Willy Morgan and the Curse of Bone Town will be an instant buy when it comes out towards the middle of the month. Next up at number 9 and coming out towards the end of August, Windbound looks pretty familiar. I'll imagine there's plenty of you folks out there who, like us, are saying it puts you in mind of an indie game crossover between Breath of the Wild and that other classic you'll almost likely know as Wind Waker. Now, we only recently found out about this game when we stumbled upon a video showing 20 or so minutes of gameplay. Sure, things are a little, shall we say, rough around the edges, and the action may be a little laid back for some. That said, the footage sees you pop into the shoes of Kara, the game's central character, as she goes out travelling across and exploring a group of islands, each having their own landscapes, challenges, and differing wildlife. You'll need to, as the saying goes, live off the land, with you able to use resources to craft a range of tools and weapons, but also hunt wildlife and upgrade your boat. Now, by the looks of things, your boat is one of the key elements of being successful within Windbound. You'll be looking and needing to adapt and change its build, and in doing so, use it as the stepping stone for progression. There's something here that, well, it looks peaceful, wholesome even, despite some of the storms that we can see, and this one comes to Steam, Epic, and all of the consoles on August 28th. Taking this month's number 8, For the People looks very much like the game we've been playing plenty of over the year. Initially due out last month, it slipped into August and comes to Steam on the 13th. Said to be an astute and acute visual novel with strategic elements, you play as the newly appointed mayor of a small city called Iron One that's of vital importance as an industrial centre for a recently formed totalitarian regime. Your task is to manage the city, its inhabitants, all within the constraints of a deepening social crisis and economic collapse. With only a limited budget to spend, you'll need to choose who to support, who to trust, and which side you want to stand by. We're hoping all this turns out like, let's say, Papers, Please, or the more recent Not Tonight, where you need to balance the interests of your state, the party, and of course your citizens you've been asked to oversee. The choice, of course, is yours, so it's over to you. Good luck, comrade. At this month's number 7, with it having a super short trailer, Shing bills itself as having the most exciting and immersive beat-em-up combat system ever, which is one heck of a claim, although there might just be something here to back this statement up. This side-scrolling scrapper comes with a solo mode and couch and online co-op for up to 4 players. It uses the left and right analog sticks for its control inputs. The left does the movement, and the right thumb is used for attacks. It all looks super intuitive and super flashy, with it coming to Steam, the PlayStation 4 and the Switch on August 28th. Next up at number 6, and a game we featured a few times here on the channel, so we'll keep this one on the short side of things. No Straight Roads is an action-adventure game infused with third-person rhythm-based combat. We've had roughly an hour and a half with the game's demo, and we're happy to say from what we've played, its premise works, well, rather well. If you fancy playing this game before you buy, the demo is still up to play on the Epic Games Store, with it also coming out for PCs, the PlayStation 4, the Switch, and the Xbox One on August the 25th. Coming up next, and halfway through this month's countdown, we have Kill It With Fire. And while its extensive demo has been available via Steam for a little while, it gets a full launch on August the 13th. The folks here at Get Indie Gaming, well, we don't have the best relationships with spiders. Arachnophobia is rife around our way, and the game, while all jolly around the edges, can and has set a few of us very much at edge with a sense of dread and disgust. The notion of not knowing where a new spider might pop up is so relatable, if perhaps the act of wanton destruction that take place with you giving these 8-legged creatures the excellent good news is, well, it's a little over the top, and that's where the game will likely shine. Sure, we're basing this on only the demo, and yet we can't think why the game will degrade this kind of experience with its 1.0 release. Sure, it's ludicrous, and again that's the point. Kill It With Fire, even if you're no fan of spiders, should be one to add to your wishlist. At number 4, Metroidvania Biomass makes its way out in August, and having played the demo quite recently, well, it's really super hard. By this, well, we think it's one of the hardest games we've seen in this genre for a very long time. As we have noted once or twice before, Biomass, well, it plays probably above the level we're able to enjoy comfortably. It's going to appeal to a specific type of player, and by that we mean those who enjoy Dark Souls, Cuphead, and Sekiro in terms of the challenges it gives you, the player. Putting that to one side though, it is rather handsome with gorgeous pixel art. The background lore is also exceptionally well put together and offers players a profound and in-depth look into the backstory of the game and its characters. Biomass drops on August 13th for PC via Steam. And at this month's number 3, the somewhat unfortunately named Spitlings, which came out a few days ago as this video goes live on August the 3rd. Spitlings is every bit a homage to the classic arcade games folks like us love to go on and on about. You and up to 3 other players are put in charge of a titular Spitling as they spit their way across the levels. Your task, while sounding simple enough, is to burst all of the bubbles bouncing around the screen, although from what we've seen of the game so far, it should offer up a decidedly difficult and challenging gameplay. What's more, and this is something we love, it's a true multiplayer. If one player messes up, that's game over for everybody, either in local couch co-op or online play. With that in mind, Spitlings could end up giving Moving Out or Overcooked a run for their money in terms of pure out chaos and relationship breaking potential. Spitlings looks terrific and is available on all of the usual consoles via Steam, and for a few folks out there, you can also pick it up via Google Stadia. Taking this month's runners-up slot, which may be a surprise to a few people, Fall Guys came out August 4th with it bouncing, dodging, and generally weaving its way around the PlayStation 4 and PC via Steam. To be honest, we're not usually fans of Battle Royale games, and yet in Fall Guys, here's one we can totally get behind. Taking its cues and references from TV shows such as It's a Knockout and Takeshi's Castle, you do battle with up to 60 players, with you taking the form of a bouncy, springy little character trying to make their way across a colourful world that's full of traps, challenges and other impediments, all designed to put you flat on your back or knock you out of the game. It's genuinely hilarious, and to our mind best played with friends and family, all gathered around the TV to watch and mock each other as you play. There's endless replayability here, and if you're a PlayStation Plus subscriber, you can get this from launch day for free over on that platform. And with only one game left in this countdown, once we're done with that, we'll be heading back to play Fall Guys for the rest of the afternoon. At number 1 for August, and a game that only very recently popped up into our ever so slightly overflowing inbox, we have Griefhelm. It looks stunning and is the work of a single developer, so that's even more impressive, all things considered. Essentially a tactical dueling game, Griefhelm has you performing medieval combat within what seems super fast-paced duels. You'll need to dodge blows, hack away at enemies, and overcome your foes using tactical foresight within what's being called a dynamic and replayable campaign. We're most impressed, however, with the idea of the local couch co-op option for up to 4 players, although fans of online play will also have that option too. Griefhelm comes out via Steam for PC on August the 20th. And there we go, that's about it for our monthly rundown of video games we're looking forward to seeing this August. Be sure to click that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and while you're here, be sure to head over to our new Patreon page. Over there you'll find a whole heap of new rewards, so please, if you're able, consider signing up over there to help push Get Indie Gaming forwards. Either way, many thanks for watching, and we'll see you all again here soon for more indie game videos.